I'm Dr. Mirume Olowolayemo. I'm an ophthalmologist and let's say Nigerian trained ophthalmologist, and currently run work with the Aurora Specialist Eye Center, and I also do a lot of charity work with the Vision for Everyone Foundation. So I studied medicine in the, like you said, the prestigious University of Ibadan, University College Hospital in Ibadan. So, and then thereafter, after in my house job or housemanship and my NYC, I eventually got into residential placement in UBT, University of Unity Hospital, where I did my ophthalmology residency training. Then afterwards, I left and I worked with the Eye Foundation Hospital Group. While there, did the Hilton Cataract Fellowship Program, which we did a lot of work on cataracts, community cataract surgery, of course a lot of community glaucoma surgeries as well, and we also did other stuff with pupil emulsification, other surgical techniques. While there, I also did the glaucoma draining device course, which is an international training program by the New World Medical and the Cure Glaucoma Foundation. So I got certified as a glaucoma draining device implant specialist. Nobody exists in a vacuum. Our environment is the place which we come in contact with first of all. So when we say Nigeria, some people can say Nigeria, some people can say Africa, some people can say Sub-Saharan Africa. So there are practical realities that we have to deal with, which I remember in medical school, one of the commonest things we talk about was PID, poverty, ignorance, and disease. That those are the main causes of healthcare issues. So once you can take care of the P, poverty, you can take care of ignorance, you can take care of the disease part, takes care of itself. So PID. So, and that's the environment where we are coming up from. So, and to be fair, it's a cycle in every environment. There is no environment there is no society that was created in wealth and was created with knowledge. And because of that, did not have disease. So every society evolves. They absorb knowledge they fine-tune that knowledge, they use that knowledge to defeat poverty by creating wealth, and they use that wealth and the knowledge as well to fight disease and create health. So it's just the same paradigm anywhere in the world. So obviously there are some differences obviously they have illnesses that are commoner in Sub-Saharan Africa, and they are commoner in the temperate region, but it's the same building blocks. You look at environment, what diseases are there, what are the vectors, what are the prevailing psychosocial problems that are leading to a particular disease state, and you work back from there. So that's probably the most important framework that we learned in solving medical challenges. Of course, you can talk about other things, policy, frameworks, and all that. But the truth of the matter is, once you have a granular feel of what the problem is, for instance, malaria, what's the cause of malaria? Oh, you see the vector itself, Anopheles mosquitoes. What's the disease agent? Malaria falciparum in this case. Okay, fine. So we now know, and we know that they gather in water, they breathe in water. So we're already okay. Clear the drainages, insecticides, insecticide treated nets. Make sure there's anti-malarials are available, either imported or produced. Uh, Provide probably some subsidies to ensure that those medications are in or produced within. And malaria deaths of under fives will get almost to zero. Why? Because we understand where the problem is and we understand that framework. So that's now that's just how it is anywhere in the world. Wherever there's a problem, you look at the problem, you study the problem. Most times the answers are in the question. So, uh, of course, we know that over the course of the cycle of this country, priorities have not been well, wrong priority. Government has had wrong priorities, and funds have not been put where it should have been. And of course, once investments are not made, there cannot be no returns on investment. So the challenge where we are in now is trying to redirect our investments so that in this time to come, we can reap the benefit based on those investments. That's the cycle of life. You invest, you enjoy, and it's same. It's so for an individual, it's so for an institution, it's so for a country, so and it's so for each sector. So it's likewise in the health sector, same for the educational sector, same in infrastructure, same everywhere in the world. So that's why probably I'm a lot more optimistic because I understand that all we need is just a redirection of investments directed towards desired outcomes and studying through and pushing through to ensure that we get what we want. So, of course, so my own story of Nigeria, I would say, is no, learning to understand the problems, learning to survive and then thrive regardless of the problem. Because the problem is not the problem. The problem really is how people are looking at the problem. So, and that is something across bodies, regardless of education. Yes, we have undoubtedly structural fiscal issues in this country. Yes, we have undoubtedly structural governmental issues. Yes, but that really in itself is not the problem. The real problem is how individuals, institutions, businesses are going to now um, understand the problem and now work around it. Because I haven't said that we have people and institutions that have done just that. That is not to say the structural problem should persist, the fiscal problem should persist. It's just to say that one has to be able to take personal responsibility for one's desired outcomes. And by creating those outcomes, you can now be part of creating a larger solution to a larger environment. Because obviously, then you now have a seat at the table. You cannot be able to now say, your voice will probably be louder and your wisdom will now be more accepted. Why? Because there's a track record of having produced despite the odds. And that's really what we need, across the board, not just in Nigeria, but you can, because Nigeria actually is a template for all of Sub-Saharan Africa. Really. So once once the format, once you have a format that a workable format within this country, it's something that can be adapted all across the West. That is why Nigeria is such an important place. And that's why we who are here, always have to be hopeful and always have to keep looking for the solutions and keep working, not just being theoretical here, but being practical, okay? Being on the ground and putting things, structures on the ground that will solve problems, not just for us as individuals, but that can scale, solutions that can scale. Like I said, 200 million Nigerians, 400 million West Africans, 800 million Sub-Saharan Africans, which is a big number. The health sector really, for me, uh, contrary to what other people will say, I will say it's probably one sector that has really improved. Now, I say that with a caveat because we've had a lot of development in the private healthcare space as opposed to the public healthcare space. And that is testament to the resilience of the healthcare professionals. And we've had a lot of influx of our diaspora colleagues who went to the West and have come back to establish very world-class institutions, both in the eye care, which I am into, and other spaces. I mean, we've seen someone recently in Lagos set up a cancer treatment facility. She came from the UK. I mean, so, and there are others like that. So, like I always say, I'm very hopeful. Yes, there are, I mean, in every field of medicine, eye care space, for instance, orthopedics, neurosurgery, radiology, laboratory medicine, there are worldwide developments. And because of technology, the advancements are easily diffusible. And with the advent of artificial intelligence, that's even helping to upskill staff such a way that you can actually be off-site and take care of patients with the use of our internet. So technology is really helping. And we are really in a situation where there's a lot of training going on. There's a lot of capacity building. I mean, I gave myself as an example. I mean, I can say I've been a beneficiary of that. So there's a lot going on. So, but the thing really is, we need to scale that up, with particular regards to capacity development across board, the whole spectrum of healthcare, the manpower itself, the manpower infrastructure, healthcare financing, healthcare insurance, healthcare equipment, with particular regards to production. You know, by the time you look at it from that perspective, you now realize that there's a lot that is being done. In fact, to be sincere, we've proven it that we are doing well. I mean, this COVID crisis that we saw proved that, I mean, the medical infrastructure, the medical players within the nation are up to the task, and that's undeniable. I mean, if you go back to the Ebola crisis, so what we just need is a lot of interaction with other, let's say, the diaspora colleagues and other centers. Once you're able to, we're able to, with the right policy, create centers of excellence for different fields within the structure. Not necessarily governmental, but it could be like PPPs, private-public partnerships. That will help to should I say, reinforce these gains and make sure that these gains are translated to the next generation through training in particular, which is very key. And of course, when we talk, and that's those things are, of course, there are other things to obviously, but these ones are key. So I'm really happy that we are actually in a position to take advantage of a lot of advancements in the world. Yeah. Well, as a person, I will always recommend, my recommendations will always be the institution be structured for production. I know that sounds a little odd, but it's improper, in my view, for an institution to be wholly dependent on external sources for funding. Of course, a public institution is funded by taxes and funded by subventions. However, um, I feel that all public institutions should be focused at productivity. Productivity at all lines. Productivity in terms of research, productivity in terms of manpower development, productivity in terms of actual replication. A healthcare institution cannot just be there for 10 years. It should reproduce itself the same way the branch of a bank reproduces itself. So I think that's a major failing in the thinking. The essence of funding should also be to produce and to commercialize whatever is produced. Of course, that can be done, probably should be done in conjunction with private institutions. So that's what I feel. Because I'm saying this because I worked in government institutions for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and my major issue was I did not see so much productivity because there was not so much my own assessment, accountability, and there was not so much real use of the manpower that was there. So the essence of having manpower is for production. And that is across the board, not just in healthcare space, but everywhere else. You talk of the university sector. The university sector should be able to commercialize their research. The universities and professors should be able to commercialize their research so that they are able to generate income. And such income should be accounted for. I'm a stickler for accountability. First of all, there should be accounting. Once there's accounting, let us see the books. Everything just appears to be so shrouded in mystery. And to be sincere, that's probably where its problem starts from. Let's see how much is generated. Let's see where it's generated. Let's see how those funds can now be redirected towards more production. Because if we do that, you find out that down the line, the government subventions will be freed up for other things. Then we'll start to talk of issues of IGR and placement of IGR. Where are the funds put? So I always advise all institutions to work towards production. And to do that, you need a high degree of human power development. And that we should be in tandem with specific goals, developmental goals, research goals, structural goals. That way, we know that when we are employing a VC, he should have a manifesto. This VC, okay, you're going to be the chief executive officer of this university. Okay, you're expected that the endowment fund is currently at 1 billion. Okay, by the time you finish your first tenure, you should have gone to like maybe 2.5 billion. Okay, currently we are having this research that we are commercializing. Okay, we've commercialized 10 researches and we've made $10 million. Okay, I hope to double this or triple that. And that way, there's a template of production which everybody can work to. By the time we do that in healthcare, we can now say, okay, we want to start producing our medications. We are producing idols, we are producing tablets, we are producing syringes. So everything should be, all investments should be directed towards production, tangible production. Yes, I know that there are some outcomes that are not me- directly measurable. For instance, a PhD it's not something you can measure. But you can measure it. Okay, we've produced 3 PhDs, and now those PhDs should now mean something. Like I always say, the Google we use now was a PhD thesis. We need to say actionable PhD thesis across board in all. So that's always my goal. That's my advice. Let things be, let all institutions be directed towards production, and let there be fiscal responsibility. Let's there be clear-cut accounting. Let's see monthly income and expenditure printouts, so that we can even advise the institution. Oh, do it like this, do it like that. So where there is no accounting, we can't even be talking about accountability, and we can't start talking about productivity. So that's my